Making your nose run.
Yeah.
All right, welcome to the Classy Redneck, everybody. It is I, the Classy Redneck, and my partner in wine, West Virginia.
What's up, everybody?
Tonight, we've got a special. I made my grandmother's Cajun gumbo.
Your grandmother's?
It was my grandmother's, my Mammaw. And then we are pairing it with a local. This isn't, we consider not doing this because it's really something you can only get locally, but this is Helianthus, which is sunflower, from the Florilegium project. So local guys doing not flower-based wines, but he's doing local wines, and the name is basically, it's like a flower theme, I guess that's what it's called.
It's a good thing that we're pronouncing these words now and not later. Helianthus, right? Helianthus?
Helianthus, yes.
Helianthus and Florilegium. Where is it?
I don't know if it might be at the bottom.
It's at the top. It's
there it is.
It's very pale. Florilegium. Those are the last times that I will pronounce those words correctly tonight. Sunflower. So is it a sunflower wine or?
No, this is a Malbec Nouveau. So, you get a lot of Beaujolais Nouveaux, which is, this year's vintage. Quickly run through the process, and then so you've got this year's vintage in a red wine.
Big fan of Beaujolais Nouveau. Beaujolais Nouveau. While we're in the business of pronouncing things correctly, Beaujolais Nouveau. So this is some local to us.
Yeah.
They don't have Beaujolais grapes growing, but they've got Malbec. So they've taken the first pressings.
Yep.
From freshly harvested Malbec grapes.
Yep. So they basically made a Nouveau out of the local Malbecs. Spent about 8 weeks through the whole process. I think it was I don't remember, what was it, 3 weeks?
3 weeks on skins and then another.
That's right. 3 weeks on skins and then 5 in the fermenter.
5 weeks after they racked it off.
And then this is what we got. I was actually really surprised at the color we got.
Yeah, I mean it's a deep color.
For 8 weeks, it's really dark. I was expecting like a dark rosé, and this is.
I'm sure on camera this looks like straight blood.
Yeah, this is like a solid. Like I got this little white sticker that he gave me. Like you can't even really see through it.
Yeah, it's pretty deep. Deep, like amethyst kind of color. Reddish purple.
Yeah. I was amazed at the color though. Something that only took 8 weeks. I didn't expect it to be that deep of a red.
The nose to me is like straight up blueberry juice.
I was thinking fruity too. Mammaw Redneck mentioned before the camera started rolling Kool-Aid, and I can't really get that out of my mind now.
Sorry.
No, it's
blueberry juice with a little black cherry Kool-Aid in
black
there.
cherry.
Maybe?
I was thinking cherry Kool-Aid, but yeah, black cherry Kool-Aid.
Not in a bad way.
That was my dad's. That was my dad's favorite Kool-Aid when I was growing up.
Oh, the black
and
cherry.
I
ones?
hated it, but my dad was always making the black cherry Kool-Aid. Shout out, Dad.
But yeah, that's really like the most prominent thing I smell is that the black cherry. I think is the closest match.
Going in?
Oh, yep.
Well, it's not overly complex, is it?
No, it's very straightforward, I guess would be the best way to put it.
Do we know if this has even seen oak yet at all?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think it saw
He didn't
anything like
mention
that.
barrels.
Okay, I mean it's got some kind of a tannic quality that's. It's almost like it spent like a couple of days in oak. Maybe. Are you getting that?
I mean, it's really light on the tannins. I just assumed that was the 3 weeks. The 3 weeks on the skins.
3 weeks on the skins, yeah.
Is where that was coming from. It's good. It smells sweeter than it actually is.
Yeah,
You know, it's got that
it's actually pretty tart.
Yeah, it's got that sweet Kool-Aid smell.
Dry
And then
finish.
when you go in, it's tart and dry. Refreshing though for a red. You know, I mean, it's not got the tannins. It's not, you know, it's very drinkable. So I did, you know, celery, onions, and bell pepper. You know, the 3 basic vegetables.
Holy Trinity.
The Holy Trinity, as they call it for Cajun food. But I actually, usually they're using green bell peppers. I don't really like green bell peppers, so I usually go with the like red, which is what we got.
One of the many reasons that I love you. I don't like green peppers either.
Yeah, I feel like the red just adds a little bit of sweetness to it, I guess, especially compared to the green, you know?
Absolutely. Yeah, green are just kind of bitter,
Yeah.
herbaceous.
And then I had some andouille sausage. We got some frozen crawfish because that's what we really had available. And then it's a beef broth. For the roux, it was a stick of butter and half a cup of flour. Just melted the butter and then slowly whisked in the flour. And this was what would be called a 3-beer roux because it took so long to get it nice and dark that I drank 3 beers. So
Just like when people ask me how long it takes to mow my lawn, I say, about 3 beers.
yeah. So yeah, no. Usually I do them quick and hot, but this time I wanted to try it slow. I've been doing a little research, and usually I use vegetable oil, and you know, vegetable oil can handle the heat better than butter. So I was like, well, you know, usually I'll do vegetable oil, the flour, and then just high heat, and you know, you're done pretty quick. But you're also like really towing that line of, you know, it's ready, and then boom, it's burnt. You know, like, you know, it's a very fine line. This time with the butter, I slowly, gradually brought the heat up, slowly got it darker and darker and darker until, you know, it got to the point where it's like, all right, this is just perfect. She's in the next room saying, oh, I think you burned it. And I was like,
No,
nope,
that's not
it's
what I
perfect.
said. I said I think it's getting close.
It's getting close. Okay.
Because you can smell it. You can smell when it's right on the edge of perfection to it's gone too far.
Yeah. Yeah, I just remember like when I first tried my grandmother's recipe, I couldn't make it work. The roux, I was just throwing away roux all the time, just screwing it up. And you know, I had to call my grandma and kind of walk me through it on the phone. And you know, once I did it correctly, you know, I got to that point where it's really browned up, and you've got this nutty smell from that cooked flour. And it, you know, it just took me back to my childhood like that. Bam! You know, and it's like, oh yeah, that's what it should smell like. You know, that's perfect.
Yeah, right on.
And then I burnt that batch too. No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. But that's
one of those things. Like once you finally get it right, then it's like, okay, I know what I did wrong the last 99 times. I got it right this time.
Yeah.
I'm never going to screw this up again. So the winemaker was telling you that this should pair well with spicy foods.
So yeah, we were chatting with him about what, you know, he thought would pair with it, and you know, he was getting into more like Thai food and things, you know, stuff that, you know, had some spice to it. And I was like, well, we were talking about a Beaujolais Nouveau.
Yeah, we were talking about Beaujolais Nouveau a couple weeks ago, and you know, I mean, if he was talking about spicy stuff, and we had already planned gumbo and didn't really have a wine picked out for this dish, right? So
yeah, no, it worked out perfect because we were just there 2 nights ago, and you know, just chatting with this guy, and it was like, you know, they just met up perfectly. I was like, nice.
The universe wanted this to happen.
Maybe so.
Now, how spicy are we talking here on this gumbo, sir?
I tried to keep it pretty light on the spice because, you know, not everybody's palate is up to the spice level that some of the other ones are. But I think a few of the ingredients maybe kicked it up a little higher than I expected.
So yeah, the like lack of tannins actually, you know, and the tartness that's there makes this work with a spicy dish. there's some saltiness in here, obviously with the andouille and whatever seasonings and everything. That saltiness on the palate actually, like, when you follow a taste of the gumbo with a sip of the wine, the saltiness like immediately blends with the tartness from the wine, and you get kind of a pop of like fresh berry flavor. At least that's what I get.
No, that's a good way to put it. Yeah, I was trying to kind of pay attention to what was going on, and I noticed it. It did cut the tartness, and I had to take a few more bites to figure it out. But yeah, it was definitely there's that saltiness, and then the wine just kind of almost not really cleanses your palate, but just kind of refreshes that.
Kind of eases you right into that next bite, and then makes you want to rinse and repeat.
Yeah.
Kind of thing, right?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say there's anything, transformative. I know we've had some dishes where,
right,
like the dish alters the taste of the wine and vice versa.
Right.
Like none of this is really like, this food isn't transforming the wine or vice versa, but
right,
they definitely complement each other, and there's no off-putting flavors either.
Yeah, I mean, I think the biggest thing is that we've got a nice dark red that is working with a spicy dish. Well, let me ask you this: what if we go from the wine back to the gumbo? We haven't done this in a while.
I was just thinking that.
Wow, does that bring out the saltiness of the gumbo? Wow, I like it a lot better going from the gumbo to the wine than from the wine to the gumbo.
Woo! Yeah, it does. Yeah, when I first did it, it was the first thing that was in my mind. It was just it popped. It was just like, ah.
you knew something was exploding. You just
yeah,
didn't know what it was.
Like, ooh.
Oh, it was that bag of salt.
Woo. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say
Okay.
this is a overly salty dish either, but
It makes it seem like it though, going from going in the reverse.
all right. Thanks for joining, everybody. Be sure to click like and subscribe, and ring my bell for notifications. And if you guys want to see any pairings in the future, be sure to drop it in the comments.
I don't think you're right.